In a shocking, not so shocking turn of events, Trump's national security advisor, Matt Flynn, has resigned in the midst of a scandal that implicates him in treasonous acts of colluding with Russian officials in order to get Trump elected as president. Now, the accusations are that Matt Flynn contacted the Russian ambassador to the U.S., can't really say his name, Solzhenitsyn, in order to talk about sanctions and the alleviation of sanctions if somehow, wink wink, he wins the election. Now, this is further complicated by the fact that there has already been a dossier compiled by MI6 and our intelligence agencies who are currently doing an investigation. I'll say that it's the CIA, the NSA, and no one can really confirm who's looking into it, but intelligence agencies that imply that there is a video or audio tape of some sort that has Trump complicit in it in a potential lewd sexual act with prostitutes, also known as Pissgate. Now, whether this is real or not is still in the air because there has been no follow-up to it, but the allegations that Matt Flynn contacted the Russian officials have been confirmed, and that is the reason why Matt Flynn has chosen to resign. This is further complicated by the fact that Congressman Jason Chaffetz, who is a staunch proponent of morality and ethics and such, especially during the time of Hillary Clinton's email and Benghazi scandals, for the course of 2 years pushed hard to have the then Secretary of State, testify before Congress almost every other weekend as to her role in the private email server scandal and the Benghazi unfortunate attacks and death of an ambassador, has now refused, just flat out refused, as head of the the Congress Oversight Committee, to investigate the issue of Matt Flynn contacting Russian officials. Now, this is very clear cut. This is very clear in the sense that doing so and alluding to alleviation of sanctions that were implied during the Obama administration, if Trump were to be elected, is a very clear incentive for Russia to do something. Now, in the midst of the possible hacking and hacking of the DNC's email servers and possible hacking of voting machines and all these other things are currently being investigated, this is very clear that it played a role somehow. I mean, anybody that looks at it would see that there's a role being played if sanctions were going to be alleviated for Russia, and namely Putin, to want Trump to be there. And if you have blackmail that you can use on him, even better, right? But apparently that's not enough for House Congress GOP members to move forward on it and try to see if there's any tie between both Matt Flynn's connection, Trump, and the Russian officials. And this is only getting worse, and it's getting worse by the day. All that we can really hope for is that someone within the GOP has the gall to push out of party lines and take it for what it obviously is. It's treason, and it needs to be investigated, and charges need to be filed, and ultimately, if, in my humble opinion, impeachment needs to be considered. Considering that not only was it treason by Matt Flynn, it's treason by complicit actions of Donald Trump and even Mike Pence. That's my opinion.